What? Hey guys, welcome to Wonderland. I'm your host, Rich Davis, and I am broadcasting to you in my still yet, as of now, unfinished office, which it gets cooler and cooler every day. So I'm super stoked about that. But anyway, we're going to have some fun tonight and going to be asking you, what do you want? We'll be back right after this to answer that question. All right, welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining us here. I'm your host, Rich Davis on Welcome to Wonderland. If you guys didn't see my silly cold opening right there, I've often thought for those cold openings, I need to do like a Saturday Night Live sketch thing. Like, I need to be like in costume and play some kind of character. But then I think that's a lot of work, and I don't know if you guys would dig it or not anyway. So, but you know what? This show tonight, I'm not going to be doing any sales tonight because, well, sadly, our lunar and penguin shipments are both delayed arriving to the store. So we're very fingers crossed that they're all going to be here tomorrow morning so that we can put out our new comics. It happens every now and then. Lunar and Penguin are actually a little better at it than Diamond was. Diamond used to get a lot of delays. And yes, Jay, that Superman bucket there. And I don't know if you can see it up here. That one right there, that one was super awesome. It's a little Superman popcorn awesomeness thing there, which is really cool. You want to cast for a live action live wire for DC movie? Yes, I do. Who do I want to cast for a live? God, that man, that'd be a good one. I don't know who could play live wire. Who would you like to cast as Livewire? That's a great discussion tonight. Francis McDormand. All right, I'm down. I'm picking up what you're putting down there. Okay. So yeah, that's a great way to throw this out there. Tonight we're just going to talk about what you want. So as you guys know, AJ's no longer part of the show. We love him. He's not gone. He just had to get back to his family, and he got a new job today. So I don't know, AJ, if you're watching out there, congratulations. If you're not, well, screw you then. But no, hey guys, everybody, AJ got a brand new job today. He's gonna be working for Amazon, which is pretty rad. Very happy for him, and he doesn't have to be away from his wife and family for so long. But yeah, so with that, there's gonna be a lot of changes going on the show. I think next week you guys are going to meet Tiffany. She's going to be joining us, being part of the show moving forward. So with making those changes in mind, we want to know what you want. What do you want to see from us on the show on Welcome to Wonderland? We tried in the beginning. It was mostly selling, new comics that were coming out on Wednesday. Alan, they are cutting jobs, but not in the package delivery, and that's what AJ is going to be doing. So all the other people are being they're being replaced by AI robots, but the delivery drivers, they've still got jobs until those drones get approved by the FAA and take over all the jobs. And you know, guys, in like 3 years, we're probably all going to be obsolete with no jobs and universal basic income and everything that we've always seen on sci-fi movies, like the greatness of The Expanse, which I'm actually just starting a rewatch of that. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but you need to watch The Expanse. The books are great. The television series is fantastic, especially after the first two seasons are a little wonky. But then it gets really good, and then it moves to Amazon. Hey, two shout outs for Amazon. Hey, Jeff Bezos, give me free stuff. When it moves on over to Amazon, it gets fantastic. It ends way too soon. So I can't wait to rewatch that. But and then the comic books are awesome, by the way. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent, which is something that I'm apt to do. So you know, then we went into a rotation where we were selling, you know, graphic novels and things like that on a different schedule, you know, Marvel, horror, DC, sci-fi, fantasy, weird shit. And, you know, that was getting a little traction, but not a lot. So I've got thousands of boxes of comics. I own a comic book store. I can get access to just about anything you guys want. I just need to know what you want because I want to sell you stuff and I want to give you the things that you want because I know there are things that you want, but you know, what do you want? What would you like to see on the show? Also, would you like to see more of a podcast type focus? You know, we've tossed some ideas about, I've been talking to Kyle a little bit about um, bringing on artists to work on the show and talk about their work while we sell comics. We've even done this really crazy thing, kind of a whose line is it anyway, where I would bring an artist on and you guys would throw an idea out and then I would come up with a story, you know, like a 2-3 page story, whatever, and the artist would draw it right there on the show. You know, that's kind of the wackiest, craziest idea we've had. But anyway, you know, we're looking to make changes. We're looking to improve every single day. So I thought today would be just a really cool opportunity to talk to you guys and, you know, just tell me what you want. And then also, you know what, Acres, I love what you're doing here. You know, what do you want to see in the world? You know, like, you know, I'm digging that, man. You are going some deep cuts, man, and pulling some things. And like, honestly, I'm not really familiar with Alpha City Comics, but I would love to hear you talk about Alpha City Comics because that sounds awesome. And we do need more movie cinematic universes. Hey, what's up, Mr. Nope? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Feels like it's been a minute. So since you're just joining us, we're talking about what do you want? What do you want to see from the show? Keep chat started. I was comic book. Yeah, you know, I could do that. Comic book reviews and talk. You know, I mean, I read a lot of comics. I write a lot of comics. I think it'd be fun to do reviews. Tiffany, I think it'd be really hysterical to see Tiffany do reviews. I can't wait for you guys to meet her. She's awesome. You're gonna love her. But she is not super familiar with comic books yet, but she is, as with everything that she does in her life, she is learning at an accelerated pace. This is a woman who got cancer in her freshman year of college and was doing chemotherapy and still managed to graduate valedictorian of her nursing school class. So she learns fast, you know. Yeah, it is awesome, man. I tell her all the time, man. She's a freaking Terminator, man. God, you know, I get a cold, and you know, it's like bundle me up, hide me away in the, you know, in the bedroom and let me die. And then hell, she didn't miss a single day of classes while she was fighting cancer. I mean, that's just insane. But that's her. So I can't wait for you guys to meet her. And she's gonna be an amazing part of the show. She's been working with me at Wonderland for a couple of weeks. She's got a little burned out doing the nursing thing. So she works what's called PRN. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that or not, but she gets to work when she wants to, where she's needed. Yeah, definition of a badass. The only thing is, man, it's like I can't be sick. You know, I can't complain about anything because whatever I'm going through, she can drop that. Look, I survived cancer card. oh, you've got a headache, you don't want to go to work today, or you're tired. Well, guess what? I went to school with cancer. And I'm like, what can I say to that? There's nothing I can say to that. So it's a battle I will never ever win. But yeah, and she'll tell you all about it. We'll joke. It's pretty fun. She's going to be an amazing part of the show, and we want to make the show amazing. We want to make it something that you guys really want to get into. So tell me, toss ideas out here, and then hell, let's tell stories. Let's do something fun, because I ain't got nothing to sell tonight. So this is just gonna be me talking all night. You can ask me. I tell you, ask me anything. I have in my life. Some of you see me on podcasts, you'll know. So I've worked in radio, worked in television, I've worked in film. I've worked for a newspaper. I've worked for 2 presidential campaigns. I own a comic book store. I owned a theater. I owned a bar, and I write comics. So I ask stories. I'll tell you something. Yes, we do, Acres. We carry Uncle Scrooge comics in my store. We got old Disney, new Disney. Favorite '90s comedy. Well, I'm going to tell you what. It's not Friends. I am not. I am not at all a Friends fan. I would have to say '90s comedy. What was I watching back in the '90s? If if animated comedy counts, hands down, it was The Simpsons. I used to look very much forward to Sunday nights being able to sit down and watch The Simpsons. I just thought it was most amazing. From season 3 to about season 8, The Simpsons was unreal. If we're not counting animated and we're going just live action, I'd have to say that '70s show. I really, really enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, I would say I did like Seinfeld. I didn't like. Wait, was Newhart was over by the '90s, right? And probably Golden Girls were too. I used to watch those with my grandparents, and I loved them. But I don't remember um, hanging out down. Yes. But yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember if those 2 shows were '80s or '90s, but they were awesome. They were fun. I got a lot of fun memories of those with Grandma and Grandpa. That was really rad. So all right, cast a Stan Lee biopic. Jared Leto. Actually, so I say that tongue in cheek, but I'm serious on it. I actually am an admirer of Jared Leto's skills as an actor. The man is brilliant. He truly is. I think he's been put into some roles that he really wasn't well equipped for, well suited for. I like where he wanted to go with his Joker. It just I don't know, it didn't work for the fandom. I personally really liked his Joker, because when I look at that Joker, the way he played it, oh, was it really? I didn't know that '70s show was in the 2000s. I thought it was sometime in the '90s. Okay, well then I'm going to change my pick to Golden Girls, because Golden Girls was awesome. Anyway, Jared Leto's Joker. The reason I liked that Joker was that is a Joker that I believe in the deepest pit of my soul, that guy would beat a teenage boy to death with a lead pipe and not even blink. Jared Leto's Joker was a psychopath. He was unhinged. He would do it. He would beat a child to death with a lead pipe. Heath Ledger wouldn't do it. No, don't buy it. Joaquin Phoenix wouldn't do it. Nope. Mark Hamill wouldn't do it, because he's Mark Hamill and he doesn't do stuff like that. Jack Nicholson definitely wouldn't do it. But Jared Leto, yeah, you give him a warehouse and a teenage boy and a lead pipe, and he'll beat him to death. That I fully believe that. He's the only Joker that legitimately I don't know if I should say scared me, but scared is a good word. Yeah, he legitimately scared me, because I could think of I could imagine him doing the things that the Joker would do. This is a Joker that cut his face off, no problem. Cut his face off, toss it in the sewer. Absolutely believe that. He was psychotic. So yeah, 31. Oh my God, Richard Brake would be fantastic. I love that dude. He just did a season on Mayor of Kingstown. I don't know if you guys watched that, but Jeremy Renner leads, and Richard Brake plays the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood, and oh my God, I love that dude. And yes, in 31, he was fantastic. I really like him. He would play a hell of a good Joker. He really would. And he's got the facial features for it. He's got that weird, creepy smile. He would be, I think, a bridge between Nicholson's Joker and Heath Ledger's Joker. I think he would, because I think he could get the really cool clown aspect, but he could also get the sociopath as well. I think he would do that. Favorite 90s comedy movie, or okay, 90s comedy movie. Oh God, what was it called? It's shit. It's probably one like three people have ever heard of. I think it was called Drive. But it's like the MTV version of Pulp Fiction. Although, you know what? Pulp Fiction, that's kind of a comedy in a lot of ways. So yeah, that's my favorite 90s comedy, Pulp Fiction, hands down. Um, or was American Pie in the 90s the very first one? American Pie would be another one if it was in the 90s. What comic book character would you hire to work nights in your shop if there was crime wave nearby? Wow, that's a good one too. I would hire. I'd hire Emma Frost just because she's Emma Frost. No, okay, but no, seriously. Yes, you Acres, Kadeem Harrison, Brittany Murphy. That's it. That was really, really good. Really, really good. I loved it. You guys should watch it. Find it if you can ever find it. So, what comic book character would I hire? Ambush Bug. I would totally hire Ambush Bug to work nights at my comic book shop, and even if there is a crime wave nearby, that could be fun. That could be really fun. All right, hey, keep something coming. I'm digging these. Mr. Nope, ask me something. AJ, toss something out. Talk to each other. This is getting fun, man. I'm digging this. And Tiffany had the story about her happened to her yesterday, and everybody who's ever worked in a comic book store, you're gonna have this moment. This really shy, awkward kid, okay, really really nice guy, but awkward as hell. I mean, and couldn't find a way to talk to Tiffany. She's there in cosplay. She's dressed as a Ninja Turtle, and she's having such a good time. And he just dropped the how did he phrase this? Because I remember I actually poked my head out of the office to be like, what? But it was one of those who would win between Batman and but it was who would win between Batman and Spider-Verse, because I chat GPT'd it, and if Batman drank somebody's blood, then the whole Spider-Verse would be doomed. And like my head kind of broke on, hey Kenneth, how you doing, man? How's Virginia treating you? Um, but yeah, I was like, what the hell, man? But so Tiffany, she came back after he left. She played it off charmingly with a big old smile, she came back and I was like, what the heck was this question? And I'm like, okay, let me tell you how to answer this question. If anybody ever begins a question with who would win between Batman and, the answer is always Batman. And you can answer that seriously, you can answer that tongue in cheek, or you can answer it sarcastically, because it's always Batman. Because there's this old trope of, if you give Batman enough time, he can develop a plan to beat anybody. So generic comic book answer. I told her that's just what you answer when they say who would win between Batman and, because everybody will be satisfied with the answer if you just say Batman. Which Ninja Turtle she dressed as? She dressed as Michelangelo. But what's really cool is she got this mask that somehow she can change it to any Ninja Turtle that she wants. She can be all four of them. So it was really cool. She had a lot of fun. It was we did our Halloween Comic Fest this weekend at Wonderland. On Saturday we had our quarterly brown bag sale, which you pay $25 and you get to stuff it with as many comics as you can fit. The record was broken this Saturday. The previous record was 72 comics in a bag. This time somebody got 74 comics in the bag, which is pretty awesome. $25, they got 74 comics. We put like 30 boxes of comics out on the sidewalk. It was awesome. And that day, Tiffany dressed as Conan from Naruto. And then the next day, we did our Halloween Trick or Read. Used to call it Halloween Comic Fest, but Halloween Trick or Read, where we gave away free comics to kids. And that was the day she dressed up as a Ninja Turtle. And my stepson Easton, he dressed up as Monty from Five Nights at Freddy's. So they had a great time. It was awesome. I didn't get to break out my Jiraiya cosplay because I couldn't find my wig. And you can't be Jiraiya without the wig because the hair is kind of the thing. You can live in a toy train set for Commando or Dick Tracy. What do you choose? The train station and town designate will always function and be soft. You just see the characters and stunts. Live in a toy. Okay, I gotta say Dick Tracy. And weird, I was just talking to a customer about Dick Tracy today. And I was talking about how amazingly underrated that movie is. It's so comic book accurate. The characters are fantastic. The colors are brilliant. I mean, it looks like a Dick Tracy comic book. And Warren Beatty was so good. That movie, I don't know why it bombed the way it did, man. It was so good. So yeah, I would live on a toy train in Dick Tracy. That'd be really fun. Warren needs to give up the dude. I love how salty he is about that. Because he's like the what I've heard, rumor or whatever. We've heard that the producers or the production companies have offered to buy the rights back from him, but he's so salty about the way the movie went down. He's like, nah, to hell with you, I'm keeping it. I love that, man. That's like that's a baller move. He's like, because who knows how much money they've offered him for it, but yeah. Make Color of Money Hustler 3. Now Tom Cruise is a mentor to new pool players. What the hell? Dirty Harry graphic novels. Yeah, you know what? Dirty Harry graphic novels would be kind of cool. I mean, it would fit. Ed Brubaker could probably write that. I think he'd do a good job with it. Every year he does. Oh yeah, just to keep the rights. Expert, you aren't kidding, because the stuff he does, it's like little. I mean, they're basically like little TikTok videos or YouTube, whatever, and he just petty as hell, man, and I love it. I love anybody who's got Major League. Oh, hey, another great '90s comedy, Major League. I was a baseball player in the '90s. I went to college, played baseball, and so baseball movies were just cool as hell to me. Bull Durham, that's another one. God, I love Bull Durham. I want to go watch some baseball movies now. Makes me think of another one of my favorite baseball movies. Also, one of my favorite Kevin Costner movies. It's called For Love of the Game. And if you haven't seen For Love of the Game and you're into sports movies at all, highly recommend. It's about a pitcher played by Costner who is pitching a perfect game. And doing myself, fuck you, Joe. Yeah. But so he's pitching this game, the perfect game. He's an aging pitcher, kind of the end of his career, but he's pitching a perfect game. And between kind of in and out, we're doing flashbacks over his career, his life, his love. It's such a cool baseball movie, and I have to say, I put it above Field of Dreams. I love Field of Dreams, but I think For Love of the Game is better. Um, oh yeah, League of Their Own's amazing. I love League of Their Own. What comic book character is best for a center fielder? Um, I've got to go with Nightcrawler because he can just bounce and catch any ball that's hit to him. Spidey would be another obvious one. Wolverine would be a terrible center fielder. Reed Richards would be another one. Plastic Man would be a good one. Yeah. Those would be all. They'd be fun to watch. And you know what? Who else would be perfect for center field? Ambush Bug. Why? I don't know. Because Ambush Bug's just cool. The fact that he made that appearance in DCKO #1, I still guffaw about that. It was just absolutely freaking perfect. Yeah, and not Field of Dreams, League of Their Own, man. It was. I got to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Probably, God, it's probably been 10 years ago with my dad. And they had a thing, a little what do you call, not a display, an exhibit about the women's baseball league, and it was really cool. So yeah, I love that. Love Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna were so funny in that movie. I just died laughing. Field of Dreams. So boy, we're getting dead air here. This is not good. So I'm just gonna kind of ramble. Fun thing, story. I have been in 2 baseball movies. Both of those movies, I played go figure, a baseball player. Slide, yes. Anybody want to take a guess at what two baseball movies I've been in? Winner gets a big kudos thumbs up. What Hustler 3? Good, finally a new pool movie. um, I like the original Hustler. I don't know if we need a #3. If we're gonna do a pool movie, yes, they were both based in North Carolina. If we're gonna do a pool movie, let's do Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and make the whole movie about that Phoebe Cates stereo in motion scene, because I could watch that 1,000,001 times, and it made me think things, and that I didn't quite understand, because I was quite young when I watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And yes, and AJ Price, you do know one of them. Favorite thriller movie, where the person uses microfilm or stat. Oh, Seven. Seven, I think, fits that. Yes, I do like Southland Tales. I thought that was a weird, trippy movie. It followed up. I think I just recently watched Donnie Darko, when I was actually in film school also when Southland Tales came out. We we all, well, not all of us, but a bunch of us went to the theaters and watched it. So yeah, Southland Tales, really good. So no guesses. I mean, AJ, you can spoil one if you want, because you know it. We talked about it. Actually, you do know the other one as well, because we talked about it. It's just um, not as not as cool, because it was a movie. Well, I'll tell you what. I get. God, I wish I was in The Natural, but I'm not that old, dude. But Natural's a great movie. Absolutely loved it. Summer Catch. Yep, I was in Summer Catch. Yep, I was there. Oh, Blue Valentine. That was a damn good movie. So yeah, Summer Catch definitely was in that one. I played one of the baseball players. It was shot. Both of these were filmed in Wilmington and Southport, North Carolina. Yeah, and Sandlot 3, dude, I'm down for Sandlot 3, 4, 20, 800. I love that movie. It was a fantastic. Nope, not the Scout, although that would have been a really cool one to be there with Don Draper. Summer Catch was a cool movie. Jessica Biel, Freddie Prinze Jr., Matthew Lillard. Um, I was an outfielder in summer catch, and also did some bullpen work as a pitcher because when I went to college, I went as a pitcher. Rookie of the year. No, that's a good one too. This one actually starred a someone from the MCU. I'll give you that of a hint. Yeah, Matthew Lillard was actually really cool. He was very funny. A lot more professional than you might. 42. Yep, that's the one. Yep, yep. Matthew Lillard he's much more serious, not in serious as a person, but serious um, in his approach to his work. I admired him a lot because you think of his Matthew Lillard, Scream and Scooby Doo and all that, and he's hysterically funny. But yeah, he was very serious about the way he approached his craft, and I really liked that. I really admired that in him, and briefly got to meet Chadwick Boseman doing 42. Just hi, how you doing type thing, and really good guy, and very sad that he passed. So young. Yeah, that's tragic. But another person you admire the way that he works. Alan Tudyk was awesome in that movie. He was funny. He was so funny. Um, yeah, God, the world will never be. Everybody thinks Jessica Biel when they think Summer Catch, dude. Alan Tudyk was really cool because I actually did get to hang with him a little bit because I used to own a bar called the Brown Coat Pub and Theater, inspired by Firefly, obviously. And in my tenure of owning it, every cast member except for Shepard Book came to the bar at least once. And um, Tudyk came to the bar a couple times when he was in town filming. And on 42, he was just really funny, and the character that he had to play, he hated himself so hard for it because if you've seen the movie, he drops the N word about 97,000 times, and Alan Tudyk doing this, man, that's wild. What are four performers you would have to have in its mad world remake? Woo. Okay, so what are three underrated? Man, God, man, you must do a podcast about movies because you are cranking them out. My wheels are spinning coming up with answers to these, and some of them, I've got to be honest, man, you're stumping me. So underrated director, I'm going to drop one. My very good friend Jason Buterin. He is a very underrated director. He's got a film actually out with Lionsgate streaming right now, called Kill Giggles. And no, okay, I'm not in Nights in Rodanthe, but I worked crew on Nights in Rodanthe, and I was a PA on that, which was fun. Being a PA is a gopher. The only worst job than being a PA is being a PA that manages extras because then you're just a glorified babysitter. I've done that too. But I've done lots of extra work, and I've done PA work as a extras coordinator and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so Jason Buterin, I know you guys don't know him, but I'm giving him a big old shout out, and maybe you guys will go find Kill Giggles on one of the streaming services. It's out through Lionsgate. I don't know where. I don't know where you would stream it, but you can see the trailer on YouTube. It's called Kill Giggles. Another underrated director. I'm trying to think of some really good indie film directors right now. God, I am blank on everything tonight, man. I was not prepared to talk about movies. Blah 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 blah. Who? Uh, Let me get back to you on that after the break because I need to think of something. And I need to think of some because that one gives me some thoughts, man. I give you some better answers to your questions. Um, Felissa Rose and Andre Gower. We're in Nicer with Anthony. Make Monopoly movie. Oh, Kill Giggles. Yeah, yeah. I think that's right. Yeah. Um, you should watch it. Go watch the trailer, man. Or I wish we could throw the trailer up in the show. I don't know if we can do that or not, but it's awesome. I really wish Jason was watching the show right now because I'm giving him such big shout outs, man. I love working with him. He's a good dude. Very passionate about what he does, and stupid copyright stuff. I don't know. I don't think Jason would mind if we showed his trailer on YouTube. I mean, you know, and yeah. So, um, yeah. All right. Somebody else throw a question at me. Throw something. Bada 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 bada. Yeah, swing bada. So acres of movies. Let me throw that back at you. Who are three of your most underrated directors? Because I know you're gonna have mad movies. Make a chess movie. Who would you get? With Denzel as the Black King. Okay. Who would be opposite? Um, who would be opposite Denzel in that? Jared Leto. No, I'm kidding. Not Jared Leto. He wouldn't be very good in that. Charles Dance. I would cast Charles Dance from. You know what? Charles Dance is a younger version of Ian McKellen, I think. And as the Queen's, blanking on her name, she was in The American President. She was in um, um, God, the Kevin Spacey movie where he played. Man, where is my brain tonight? Can't even think of the name of that movie. God, I yeah. Okay, I'm looking that up. Darn it, because I can't forget her name because she's freaking awesome, and she would make one of the most awesome queens in a chess movie. This is engaging television. The American President. Annette Bening. Good God, Annette Bening. I think Annette Bening and would be the white. Yeah, there we go. Annette Bening. Thank you. And then for the Black Queen, I don't know, just for funsies and because I like her, I go with Angela Bassett. I know that's kind of a generic uh, choice, but who's the director of Euphoria? That is an underrated director. Yeah, thinking about him. Directed Euphoria. Viola Davis. Oh man, Viola Davis. She could be in anything, man. Um, Sam Levinson. Okay, yeah, I think he's an underrated director. And I at one time he wasn't underrated, but I think today he's underrated because he's been a long time between successes. But Kevin Costner would be a hella good underrated director these days because people kind of forget that Jim Carrey, Eddie Murphy, Brad Pitt, and Matthew McConaughey. I could get down with that. Yeah, I'll watch anything Matthew McConaughey's in, man. I just love that dude. And he's just I love him because he's like Warren Beatty. He's just I don't give a damn. I just do my thing. And I like him. I like him a lot. he seems like a dude I like to hang out with, but I probably couldn't handle hanging out with him because I'd be exhausted after about 5 minutes hanging out with this dude because he looks like a guy who can party pretty hard. What are we doing? Boom, boom, boom. All right. Let's see. Make Speed 3. They're married and on a honeymoon bus, and Dennis offers son. Messing with the bus. Cast who's Ben Foster, Paul Dano, maybe Costner. I feel like I'm on this, but I'd cast Kevin Costner. I'd take him. I could cast him in pretty just about anything. I think Costner would be awesome. We watched. Think about like trying to think of Halloween stuff. We watched the second to worst movie I think I've ever seen in my life. Last night, Tiffany and I did VHS Halloween. This movie, I'm a fan of the original VHS movies. I thought they were really cool, found footage, and it was really cool because they relied on, everything was, on VHS. But so they've made sequels clearly, and so this one, where it lost me, where it just destroyed its premise because they're using digital cameras and phone cameras and things like that. It's set in 2000. One of the things set in 2009, which I know seems like a very, very long time ago, unfortunately. I love Hellraiser, man. I love the Hellraiser franchise. Doug Bradley's a dick, but I do love the Hellraiser franchise. But yes, they do get terrible, and terrible, those movies. And Bloodlines. Ugh, that is just wow. Hellraiser 3, I think it was Hellraiser 3. It was the one where it was in the 80s, and I just remember one of the Cenobites with the CDs, like kill people with CDs. That's friggin' awesome. Love it. Love that. Anyway, tangent. Bad horror movie VHS Halloween. Do not recommend. The worst movie I've ever seen, and I want to say this in case I say this one of these days, I'm going to end up on a podcast with the filmmaker of this, and he's going to want to kill me because I've talked so much shit about his movie for so long. But I want to tell him, if I were on a podcast with him, I would thank him and praise him for being such an inspiration to me when I was writing Cult of Dracula, when I wanted to give up. So this movie is called Vampire Land, not Steak Land. Steak Land is brilliant. Vampire Land is god awful. Okay. We watched it video on demand, and this is before Netflix was really even a streaming service. So the premise sounded really cool, vampires, small town, blah, 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 blah. So we're like, yeah, what the hell, let's watch it. We'll watch any kind of vampire movie. So we're watching it. The plot made no sense. The costuming and the makeup, I swear to dude, just went down to Spirit Halloween and got what he needed. And then he cast his roommate and his roommate's girlfriend, and it looked like a terrible student film that I've seen millions of when I was in film school. And the visuals are terrible. The lighting's god awful. The sound is abysmal. And the plot. So vampires are kind of attacking this little small coastal town, whatever. And there's a girl, I think it's in Michigan, actually. It's in Michigan, so probably on one of the lakes. And this girl, they're focusing on her. She's trying to survive. Okay, typical plot. So she's running from the vampires. They're attacking the town. And then all of a sudden the moon blows up. Yeah, the moon blows up. Completely ignores what would happen if the moon blew up. I mean, the tides aren't going wacky. The earth isn't knocking itself out of orbit. The magnetic field's not tripping out. But the moon blew up. No idea why. It just blew up. And then the girl, she's the final girl, of course, horror movie trope. She makes it out. It's dawn. The sun is coming up. She makes it out. She's classic, heroine shot. She crosses this bridge. She's getting free, everything's good, and then bam, she's gang raped by the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Yep, that's how the movie ended. So why I would praise this guy, and I've thought about this many, many times. Whenever I wanted to give up on Cult of Dracula, and trust me, for many, many years, many, many times, I wanted to give up on Cult of Dracula because I was like, I can't do this. Well, who the hell am I? I'm insane to think I can do this. But I would remember Vampire Land because this guy got his movie. No, it was not Yui Bowl, but it should have been. This guy got it. Not only got his movie made, he sold his movie. He got it out there. It's been on DVD. It's been on streaming on demand, and he convinced me to pay $9.99 to download that movie and watch it. How many other people paid $9.99 and downloaded that movie to watch it? This dude got his movie made. And that was inspirational for me because I would tell myself, all I have to do is make Cult of Dracula a little bit better than Vampire Land. And if I could do that, I told myself, if I can do that, I know I can make this comic. And that was one of the things that gave me the drive to continue making Cult of Dracula. Now, I don't know if it's a little bit better than Vampire Land. My mom thinks it's better than Bram Stoker's Dracula, but that's my mom, and she kind of has to think that. But but I hope it's a little bit better than Vampire Land, man. And if it is, life goal achieved. I've made something better than Vampire Land and convinced people to actually actually read it. But if you can find Vampire Land, I think it's actually changed titles a few times. I think it's changed names a few times, but if you Google Vampire Land movie, you'll find it. But go out and support this guy, man. Just because, just go do it. Hate yourself later, but find this movie, Vampire Land, and watch it. You'll hate me later. You will curse my name. Um, but you maybe will understand me a little bit more. It is totally okay if you don't like the depiction of Hugh Jackman's depiction of Wolverine. Um, um, I can't come up with anything to support you on that, other than he's really tall. But I did like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and dear God, I don't want to be the person. I would not want to be the person who follows him as Wolverine. My hope for the MCU when they bring Wolverine into it, and they're going to bring Wolverine into it, they have to. But I'm hoping they bring Daphne Keene in as Laura Kinney, X-23, and let her fill the berserker role in the X-Men. Give her 2-3 movies in that role, and then just new names will be Richard Davis, shorten the Richard. Hey, my Richard is short enough. No, but so I hope they bring Daphne Keene in, because if you give people a couple of movies to forget about Hugh Jackman, then it'll be better for them because it's kind of like the Solo movie. The poor kid, the actor, and his name is slipping my mind right now. He did a good job. He really did. I thought he turned in a fine performance. He had the Han Solo swagger. The movie's not great, but he had it. But everybody wanted him to be Harrison Ford, and he couldn't be Harrison Ford, and people hated him because he's not Harrison Ford. But guess what, dude? He's not Harrison Ford. He's him, and he's playing his version of Han Solo. And so that's why I would not want the MCU to bring another actor in to play Wolverine, in the X-Men MCU. And I don't think they should start with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine either. I think they need a fresh start in this, and I think Wolverine Deadpool was kind of kind of a cap on it, and I think it's really all I ever want to see of. I ever want to see if Hugh Jackman is Wolverine again. Go on a cruise for Fifth Element or a cruise for what? Fifth Element, because then I get to hang out with Chris Tucker and Mila Jovovich and Bruce Willis, and also that movie Multipass. That movie is freaking insane, dude. I love it. Although Waterworld is one of those movies that it was god awful when it first came out, but now if I watch it again, it's got charm, man. It really does. It's so weird. It's so weird, man. And I mean the stories behind them making it, how they Spielberg tried his best to convince Kevin Costner and the other. Why is Kevin Costner coming up so much in this podcast? But Spielberg tried to convince Costner and the other producers, directors. I think you can't. You can't shoot a movie on water. Trust me, I did this. It's terrible. And they did it anyway. And the movie, one of the reasons the movie went over budget is because they kept having to rebuild the sets because the hurricanes kept sweeping through there, the storms, and made it, tearing everything up, and they have to rebuild it and tear it up and rebuild it. So yeah, no, I would not want to do Waterworld. I would totally go on a cruise for the Fifth Element. That would just be fan flippin-tastic. Let's see. Jeepers Creepers Reborn is a thing, so you should. Oh yeah, Jeepers Creepers Reborn. It was a thing that happened. It really was. Good horror movie that we recently watched. And it's fitting that we're doing this on this podcast. It's called Host. It was filmed in 2020 during the pandemic, and the entire movie is shot on Zoom. It's brilliant. It's these people, these friends, they all get together with a medium on Zoom, and they're trying to do a seance and all this, cool, creepy stuff. And well, it works. And but the whole movie, like literally the whole movie, is like you're sitting here watching me on this screen. That's the movie. I mean, there, you got all the people up in Zoom, and it's such a unique, creative, innovative, clever idea. It sucked me in, and the best part about the movie was it's less than an hour long, so the filmmakers understood that they could not stretch this premise too long. If they would have dragged it out, it would have lost credulity, because you can only suspend your disbelief for so long, and you can only beat a premise for so long before it just becomes bad. So if you haven't watched Host, it's on Host. It's on Shudder. Highly recommend watching that. It's just, and it, like I said, it's less than an hour. Younger Stan Lee, I would go for fun. I'd go Ashton Kutcher. Older Stan Lee, I think John C. Reilly could lose some weight. I think he could lose the weight. I think Will Ferrell could play a good Stan Lee with the right makeup. I keep thinking if I'm doing a Stan Lee biopic, I'm kind of wanting to see a comedic actor, because comedic actors are generally brilliant at drama as well, because they understand timing. Bryan Cranston would be a fantastic Stan Lee, older Stan Lee. I'd really like to see. I'd really like to see. Hell, I'd pay to see that for sure. J.K. Simmons' stance. Do it, you cowards. J.K. Simmons is another guy I would watch in just about anything. My first experience watching J.K. Simmons was in the HBO show Oz. It's about life in a... Yes, okay, you got it. There's so many good actors in Oz. Dean Winters is in there. Um, God, such a good TV show. All right, now you're giving me the creeps, Jay. uh, Man, that brings me back to the heyday of HBO. Man, God, they had some prestige films and things like they still do, but I don't know. Seems like that early 2000s era, Sopranos, Oz, that was the pinnacle of HBO for me. And it kind of capped with Game of Thrones and Westworld. Um, House of the Dragon's pretty good. Confession, I have not watched the most recent season yet. But Chris Maloney is awesome in that show. Yes, 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 1,000 times. Yes, he sure is. Uh, Luke Perry played a really great role in that. Luke was one of the most interesting people I ever met. Met him at Dragon Con one year. Amber and I, my late wife, we were just walking by. It's early in the morning. We were both working for Dragon Con we were working for the Wheaton track at that time. This is before I started working in media relations. But we were just walking on. We didn't have to do anything. Didn't have the first panel until much, much later. It's like stupid early in the morning. It's like 8 a.m. On Saturday morning. So most people are going to the parade or really, really, really hungover. If you've never been to Dragon Con, if you're at Dragon Con and you don't have a hangover by Saturday, you ain't doing Dragon Con right. But so we're walking by and there's this ballroom, it's a little bitty ballroom. And we look in and Amber looks at me and says, "Is that Luke Perry?" I'm like, "I think that's Luke Perry." And so we go in, and there's like 5 people in the whole thing. And he was so nice and so down to earth, real. Like we were sitting over in this area, and kind of we didn't want to intrude, so we kind of went in on the side, and there was like a little movie screen kind of blocking us. And he was like, "Can you guys see? Okay?" And he's like, come on over, come closer and sit down." And he just invited us to come. And it was like we were just sitting here. The conversation was awesome. We were just kind of sitting there like we were sitting in his living room, just having a conversation. Live action Cool World. Oh, Hollywood, if she could, and yes, I would. But yeah, and the coolest thing about Luke Perry that morning was him just talking so openly about his social anxiety disorder. Hard to believe that one of the most famous teen heartthrobs from the 90s had social anxiety disorder. He would have panic attacks in crowds and just he hated it. So he was like, he loved doing small panels like what he did. So yeah, that was really cool. And getting back to his turn in Oz was really awesome. Jay, we're coming up on 8, and unfortunately, guys, I do have a hard out at 8. I have to help my stepson learn his lines for a school pageant. So I'm putting my theater degree to work to help him tonight. So, guys, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've had a good time. Just talking with you guys. If you have any suggestions, things you want to see, things you want us to bring to the show, like types of comics or whatever, just hit me up. Send us a DM or whatever, and we'll figure it out. So, guys, thank you, and we'll see you next Tuesday with some comics to sell.